What's going on, everybody? And we're fucking back for the FNAF movie episode of the Checkerboard Podcast. I can't lie. I forget what episode number it is, but that's okay.
32.
32, okay. Fucking my fault. But the fucking long-awaited episode, dude. We all watched the FNAF movie, and we're about to give you our thoughts, our reactions, we're just gonna dive right into it. I'm joined with fucking Alex.
What's good, guys? Horror, horror,
And
horror, horror.
fucking Liam. Dude,
What's up?
Dude.
I'm so excited, bro. I gotta stop talking, bro.
Dude,
'cause
okay,
I'll
so
just spoil my whole take.
I already said it like prior to hitting the record button, but I think this is gonna be an interesting episode because I think all three of us are gonna have a bunch of different takes on the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Which honestly, I'm really excited to hear their takes. I'm excited to share mine. So how do we want to start this? What do you guys? Who wants to fucking go first on their thoughts?
I think I'm gonna have the least to say, so I feel like I'm gonna have the most. I feel like it'd be better, cause you guys, I only know lore, I only know FNAF lore. I'd never played the games that much, so I feel like you guys are gonna have there's gonna be OMG, that silly thing that they referenced at that point in the game. I'm not gonna have that, so, and I want you guys to have the room to pop off. And then also tell me that my takes are dog shit. No, I'm just kidding. So, okay, right off the bat, I don't know if this is a bad take for the film or not. I really liked the protagonist. I thought he was a really good protagonist.
Josh Hutchinson, bro. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Peter Malark, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
Peter
Fucking
Malark.
goat.
Dude, okay, so one thing that I was kind of worried about was one thing that I was worried about going into the movie was making a believable protagonist and incorporate the and also incorporate the FNAF part of the film into it realistically. And I thought that a dude who's just kind of down on his shit and just really needed a fucking job was probably the best way to do it. Do I think it was the most creative way of getting him into FREDDYS? Probably not, but it was a good way of getting him into FREDDYS. So I have absolutely no complaints in that regard.
Okay.
And then I think that his overall character arc, I think that the way that they kind of the way that his backstory worked was really interesting. I genuinely think that it was a very, very, very cool aspect of the movie about how his what made him who he was. It was something that was revisited, but it was almost as if his backstory was re-explained, and every time it was re-explained, there was greater details and were more grandiose feeling to it, and it I don't know, the backstory evolved with the movie, and I thought that was very cool. Everything about the protagonist I very much enjoyed. I thought the actor killed it, and I enjoyed his relationship with his sister, and I will also not lie, the part where he's a security cop, a security officer in the mall, and thought that a kid was getting kidnapped. At first, I was I saw that scene, and I'm like, you know what, bro? Honestly, same. But 5 minutes later, you get his backstory, and you find out. Spoilers from here on out, by the way. Actually, you know what? First,
yeah, actually, let me put that on.
Before spoilers, as someone who does not love this franchise the way a lot of people do, and has the same nostalgic ties to it, if you have Peacock, I think that this is a movie that's worth watching. I think that if this is your introduction to FNAF, it's probably a weird one, but I think it's a good one. I think that from somebody who has almost no other than some slight lore knowledge, I don't think that this is a bad way to be introduced to the franchise. and I think that there was a good balance of like fan service, but also it was it was it was an inclusive enough movie. But I also want to know, like, at non-spoiler territory, uh like, do you guys think that this is a good movie for someone who hasn't seen FNAF? Because obviously, FNAF fans
Dude.
are going to see this movie. You don't have to talk FNAF fans in seeing this movie. But what are your guys' thoughts on someone who, like, do you think that this is a good way to be introduced to the franchise?
Can I go, or Alex, do you want to go?
You can go.
I think 100% yes, bro. I fuck yes, dude. So me and my girlfriend and her sister, we watched this movie all on Peacock. And my girlfriend literally knows fucking nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. She knows like that. Yeah, it's like Chuck E. Cheese and the fucking animatronics trying to walk around and try to kill you. Like that's all she knows. But like she like fucking watched it and like she was able to get it. But I'll be like like we paused it and we explained her like some of the lore, so she would actually have like the because frequently in the movie like there's things that happen and then like oh shit like that is like from this game this night like this fucking moment in the games, bro. Like so like we explained that to her so she could have that context. But I feel like even if we didn't do that, she would be able to understand.
Yeah,
I think so.
I completely agree because
Hmm.
I didn't know a lot of that stuff, and like there were moments where there were moments in the movie where you didn't even have to play the game to know that it was a fucking reference to the game. Like there was a lot of
Yeah.
very good fan service in this movie. Like I will say that. And then
Mhm.
do you think that this is a good way to introduce someone to the franchise?
So honestly, I'm gonna have the crazy take, and I'm gonna say not exactly. And the
Bro,
reason for that,
Okay.
the reason for that, all right. As a person that liked FNAF myself, like my reason for saying that is because the movie doesn't really like okay the plot lines I'll give them that, like some of the story elements, yeah, sure, it goes with FNAF, but like there are some scenes in this movie with the animatronics that if you've played the games it doesn't really match well with like what you would expect. Like if you go from watching the movie to play the games, you're gonna have like two different experiences in my opinion.
Okay, that's true. Can I say
That's
something real quick?
go ahead and say it.
Or sorry. I was gonna say like I acknowledge that, and while I was watching it, I was seeing those discrepancies, for lack of a better term, like if we're going super OG like Fortnite OG and now Five Nights at Freddy's, like if we're talking this, I'm gonna say the word normie. If we're talking to a Five FNAF normie, bro, I feel like this is like a pretty like standard, like it's like a like I feel like they took the super complex world of FNAF and they put it so that the average person could consume it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and like
Yeah,
But dude, I agree with you there about the about some of the parts are not exactly how they were in the game.
yeah, which I mean, when the movie does that, like for example, like the Sonic movie, I haven't seen the Mario movie, so I can't have a take on that one. But like with the Sonic movie, yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing as like the games, but like I feel like with Five Nights at Freddy's, that's a little bit of a different story because there's a scene that's later on that I've seen posted a lot of places that, and I mean, I'm gonna wait until we get to spoiler. I guess are we in spoiler territory or no?
I was waiting for spoiler territory until after we gave like the should you like I was waiting until after we gave like the general should you go watch the movie breakdown before we got into spoiler territory, which it
Okay,
seems like your
all right.
synopsis so far is that you should you go see the movie, like, if you are not a FNAF fan, because obviously people who are FNAF fans are going to go see this movie.
So honestly, I would still say yeah, you should go see. So, you should go see the movie still, but like if you're going into the games like from the knowledge you have from the movies, I just want you to know it's not exactly the same thing. There are parts of the movies that do incorporate the stuff from the games, and I feel like some of those parts are done decently well. But there are some things that are just like, yeah, I mean, unless we're talking about later FNAF games, I guess that would be kind of true. But if this whole movie is kind of based mainly around the first game, so I
Mhm.
would say it's not exactly what you'll expect when going into the games. But it's
Mhm.
not a bad movie. It's not like the worst movie in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are not a FNAF fan, I don't think that this. It seems Alex is in the middle. It seems like me and Gunnar kind of agree that like this is a pretty good introduction, and it seems like Alex also doesn't necessarily think that this is a bad way to be introduced to the series. But you should have the context and understand that like you're not gonna get the same experience, which is it's very
Yeah, like,
true. You're
not
not gonna get
everything's
the
one of
same.
one, bro.
Yeah, which I
One to
mean,
one.
if you want to look somewhere, the fucking Rotten Tomatoes scoring really just kind of like says it all. Like, I feel like the critic rating is like super fucking low because these people obviously haven't played the games, so they don't get like the references and stuff. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
the audience, like, it's gonna be a lot higher. Personally, I think that the score from the audience should be a bit lower because I think 90 is a bit of a stretch for this movie, but
right.
but I would say like yeah, this is more of like a movie that like fans are gonna enjoy more than people that are kind of lost and like haven't really gotten into FNAF stuff.
Right. All right. Well, with that being said, now I am going to start talking about spoilers and the plot. But anyway, so the main character, was it Josh or Michael?
It was
I'm leave out.
Mike.
It was Mike. Okay.
Name's
Michael,
Mike.
I thought
Bro,
had I thought that Michael had a very like understanding the lore and plot of FNAF. Like, FNAF is a very like, you know, it's a very like, I don't want to say hard lore to read, but there's a lot of gruesome and like, unsettling things about the lore. Like, it's literally about a dude fucking kidnapping kids and stuffing them in the animatronics. Um, and so I think that the protagonist is somebody who is kind of dealing with the grief of being responsible for their brother being kidnapped. I think it's a very good backstory. And while one I have like one minor, I don't want to say minor issue, but like one thing I would have done differently about his backstory personally. Um Eh, but I'll get to that when I get to that. It's not a huge deal. It's more of like a see. This is gonna be the funny thing about this because like you guys are two people who have like a lot of extensive knowledge about the lore. Well, I'm gonna be more judging this like as a critic, I guess. Like I'm gonna be judging this movie more for its storyline than how much it references, this specific night of this specific FNAF game, etc., etc. Um, but I do also think critics are like way too harsh on this movie because like there's like a certain nuance that you have to understand that like people aren't looking like this movie did not need to have like this grandiose moral fucking lesson at the end of it. And if you were looking for that, you're fucking stupid. No, this movie was never supposed to have that.
Yeah.
So to get things started, okay, so basically Mike, he's down in his dumps, can't find a job. We find out that he at a young age was essentially responsible for his brother being kidnapped, like a very young brother of his being kidnapped, and by a man that he didn't see, and has been working almost his entire life to find the man who did it, since the police essentially just kind of give up on these kind of things after a few years. He lives with his sister, can't find a job, and his aunt, who
She's a
is
bitch. Fuck her, bro. I'm smoking her, bro.
the
She's a bitch.
fucking like, I mean, I'll get to that when I get to that. She's a bitch. She's a bitch. And I will not lie here. I do genuinely believe that she was probably the weakest story aspect of the entire film because it is so easy to make a dislikable character, and like, I don't know. I don't her thing didn't land for me because I've seen the conniving evil person who's trying to, foil the protagonist. I've seen it done just so much better. It's not bad. It's not exceptional. But again, I don't know if I was expecting that from this movie. I do think that her little like fat lawyer was kind of funny. Like he kind of he got that like nostril exhale from me a couple times because he was such
Yeah, bro was like,
such a bitch. and he would not stand up for himself, but he knew that what she was doing was insanely illegal because like she was literally just hiring this dude to be like, "Yo, just fucking kill Mike and get your niece because you're like, more financially stable and Mike isn't financially stable." But yeah, I thought the lawyer's shenanigans were kind of funny. I do think that the little goons or whatever at the beginning of the film just getting fucked by like Freddy and all of them was kind of fun. I won't
Dude,
lie.
that was so funny.
I'm gonna keep it 100. The animatronics are the best fucking part of the movie,
Yeah.
and I think that solely off that principle that I can ignore a lot of like the writing problems with the film because of how well the animatronics are done. Like I think that I can kind of even ignore the fact that like I mean it's a lot easier for me because I'm not a FNAF fan like as much as you guys are. But like I think that cinematically I don't really know how they could have done them much better other than making the movie a lot more gruesome, which this is going to kind of be like I think this right here is going to be my biggest gripe with the film. I get that there's going to be a lot of kids at this movie and stuff, so they had a really weird audience that they're kind of catering to because there
Yeah.
is a lot of younger FNAF fans. So they obviously cannot make this movie too extreme. However, if there will ever be a director's cut of this movie, there needs to be a more intense version because they just like I think they just couldn't do enough to make them that little bit more horrifying, if that makes sense. Like, I think the grossest thing we get is the implication that someone's face gets like shredded to bits. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't really get anything, and I think that that's a disservice to the older fans. Like, not that, oh yeah, gore, awesome, Pog champion, I want gore, gore will make the movie better. However, this is also kind of supposed to be a horror thing, and at no point in the movie I was even, like, remotely disturbed, like, not even slightly. I think that there was one time that like the movie literally did like the Foxy jump scare dot JPEG, and I was like, okay, that's fucking great. That was awesome. Like when the fucking dude is like trying to leave the pizzeria, which first of all, the aesthetic of the pizzeria was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I know,
They
bro. Dude,
nailed the set.
the set was so sick.
Yeah, the set was fucking phenomenal. The overall atmosphere, like this is not me critiquing the atmosphere. This is me acknowledging that the movie makers had a really tough call to make on how gruesome to make the kills in this movie, and they erred on the side of caution, which is fine. I'm optimistic that they can make the movie horrifying to watch for older viewers as well, because I think that like that's kind of what the movie should be trying to do. Because obviously it's not trying to tell a compelling story, like, and that's no offense to the film, like it's really not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's the FNAF film. So it would be nice if we got something like that, but I get why it didn't. That's not a critique, that's more of a nitpick. But yeah, the Foxy jump scare was fucking great. Like it was literally something ripped from a FNAF game, and they popped off. They popped off with that one. That was great. The whole like watching the animatronics just fucking slaughter these bitches was absolutely hilarious. It was a great scene. No major gripes. Probably my favorite, maybe not my favorite part of the film, but one of my more favorite parts of the film. I'll keep it pretty. I'm gonna keep it pretty brief from here on out. Essentially, some major highlight points for me throughout the rest of the film, or I guess the next big thing that I want to talk about is essentially towards the end of the film, Mike working at the pizzeria essentially is given a choice where the animatronics like tell him, or like the spirits of the kids that are in the animatronics tell him like, hey, yo, we like your sister. She's cool. We want to stuff her in an animatronic. How about you say you live in a cool little dream world, and we fucking kill your sister and stuff her in an animatronic. And
Chat.
Mike's reaction, dude, the actor, what? Genuinely, what the
He
fuck?
ate that shit. He ate that shit up, bro. Dude, this is that Peter Malak acting, bro. Dude is in the Hunger Games right now.
True.
Bro is locked in.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude, literally
holy shit.
when he was like at first, like when I heard him say yes, I'm like, oh, what?
Bro,
Where does the
bro,
movie go from here?
it's the Freudian slip, bro. That shit just came out, bro.
And then I think this might actually be like my favorite part of the entire movie. So he's in like this dream world. The animatronics are like, "Yo, we get Abby, we get your sister," which he's been working so hard the whole movie, basically his whole life, to keep his sister safe because like he lost his brother, and he's been like a father to her sister and stuff like that. And I think that they do genuinely have like a pretty like I like their dynamic. I don't think it's like the greatest brother and sister dynamic I've ever seen, but I do like it. Um and so seeing him like sell his sister out for this, it was like heartbreaking, but like also understandable. But then what made it even better was like in this dream world, he like comes into contact with his younger brother and he like sees and like kind of like wakes up to reality and like sees his sister and he's like, dude, I threw away my real fucking sister for something that isn't real. And I thought that they like kind of nailed like there's like
Realization.
the there's like this like this weird story plot of like, you know, basically there's a lot of pieces of fiction that I've seen cover the topic of like is a fake ideal world better than the real world? And I don't see a lot of fiction actually like cover the topic very well. And I think that this movie genuinely kind of covered the topic kind of well. I mean, they didn't dig into it or anything like that, but I thought they did a pretty damn good job at like covering the topic. In that one scene. Um, and then after that, the animatronics go and try to like, you know, nab Abby, and we're introduced to the greatest character in the film, the fucking taxi driver. Uh,
Bro, dude,
Corey
I
Kenshin.
literally forgot Corey X Kenshin was in the fucking movie, and then I saw that, dude. I actually got hyped, dude.
it
That
was
was a
so
sick
funny.
moment.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
speaking of fucking guest stars, oh, dude,
dude, we literally forgot about the biggest fucking shock ever, dude. Fucking
bro,
Matt Pat, bro, was the waiter, dude.
Dude,
That literally
dude,
made me stand up and start scratching my head. I'm like, holy, no way, Matt Pat's the waiter.
dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm,
It's so fucking dumb and cheesy. But like when he's like, "Yep,
I
lunch is the
know,
most
dude.
important meal of the day," and they're like, "Isn't it breakfast?" And he's like, "Well, that's just a theory." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Okay, but
Like,
They really
so
they let bro write the script for that part, bro.
that was so. No, I actually kind of chuckled a little bit. I thought that was kind of funny.
you know what the funniest thing though is about his character?
Huh?
I don't know how much Matt Pat lore you guys know, but if did you see his name tag? What his name was in the movie?
Wasn't it
No.
Walter?
No, it was Ness.
No
Is
way!
it,
What the
dude?
fuck?
Dude, whoever gave him that name really won the fucking clown on him. Because Liam, do you know the reference?
No, I don't.
So a while back, Matt Pat made this fucking theory that Sans was Ness, and everyone on the internet fucking clowned on him for it. And
Dude, I remember that
Damn.
shit. I
and
remember
so
that shit.
them making that his name is honestly really fucking funny. Like
Damn, they trolled. The
they
dude.
really trolled him there. But
That's crazy, bro.
Bro, that
All right,
I
I'm gonna try to
remember that
speed run.
fucking thing.
I'm gonna try to speed run through like the last like two things I have to say about like the last like little bit I have to say about this movie.
okay.
So basically snags. Okay, so he snags his sister. The fucking animatronic snagged the sister. We meet the goated ass fucking taxi driver, and that's kind of like where we go into like the end of the film and like finally get to meet Springtrap and stuff like that. And like, dude, I'm gonna let you two are definitely gonna have a lot more to say about Springtrap
Yeah, but I have
as
so much
well.
shit to talk about.
Matthew, oh,
Bro,
I love
he
him.
was
I
so
fucking
good,
love him.
dude.
Dude, I fucking love him. I love how
Oh,
this
bruh.
man can play Shaggy
Dude.
and yet also make like a truly fucking terrifying like villain. It's insane that this man can
He
be
ate
both.
that shit up.
No, he was so good. I'm gonna toss the mic over to whichever one of these two wants to talk, but my ending thoughts, like my final conclusion on the movie is like, out of a 10, I think that I would give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7. I want to hear what
I
they have to
agree.
say. I want to hear what they have to say first, because like I might be definitively bumped up to a 7 after I hear them talk like about it, like seeing like little Easter eggs that I maybe didn't point out or that I didn't notice and stuff like that. I think that the best way to like wrap up the movie is the plot and the story is serviceable. It's good, but the animatronics and everything that goes on with them steals the show when they're on screen. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important.
Gunnar, I want you to go first because I have a lot that I'm gonna say that
About
isn't
the end.
it's not gonna be as nice. I'm just gonna say that. I would
So the end. So like we're talking. Well, like I have some other things I wanted to say like throughout the movie. So should I just like start going through my entire list of thoughts?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I think it's kind of like I was going into this movie expecting it to be like so like only FNAF 1, like literally like you get what I'm saying, like FNAF 1 lore, FNAF 1 location, that kind of thing, bro. Which, but then once I like started watching, I'm realizing okay, they're kind of like blending a lot of the games together, which again I kind of like which is what Alex was talking about, like oh, it's not really like matching exactly to the games, but it's like making it fucking like consumable for the average person that doesn't really know much about the games, which is fine. And it's kind of honestly kind of cool from a FNAF fan perspective because you see a lot of these references coming together in one at one point. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
But literally, I thought it was so fun, like a little Easter egg, dude. Like there were like I think twice in the movie where there was a balloon boy like jump scare, and I literally was like, I wanted to fucking get up and strangle the TV because, dude, in the games, balloon boy is so fucking annoying, dude. The fact that he just like scares you for like a split second is just so infuriating, and I'm like, do you get what I'm saying though? Because like
Dude,
fucking
fucking
balloon
balloon
boy jump
boy.
scare, I literally wanted to strangle the shit out of the balloon boy, bro. I fucking hate that animatronic, bro.
I think that was
But
one
I
of the
just
references in the movie for real. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but I'm like, holy shit, he really got the last laugh. Because, goddamn. Wait, Liam, do you know what Balloon Boy does in FNAF
Yes.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so fucking irritating, bro. And then, shit. I think, if I'm talking about, like, the fucking ending, dude, shit, I think it's I like how at the very end when all of the animatronics come against William Afton, how they come against William Afton. I think that's cool because that is kind of like like that's how it was in FNAF 3. You know, like when at the end when you finish night 5 in FNAF 3, you get the mini game after, and that's when basically all of the like the dead children like they go into the safe room, and that's where the purple guy William Afton, he's like so freaked out from all of from what basically all the kids that he's killed. Pretty much all the ghosts are like the ghosts of the little kids are like scaring him. They're chasing him around in the safe room, and he fucking runs into the spring trap, the spring body suit, the spring trap suit, and it's raining, and the spring locks fail, and he dies, and that's what becomes Springtrap. I think that's kind of cool how that pretty much more or less happens at the end of the movie because it goes in line with the lore, but it's not the ghost. It's not the like the actual ghost. It's the ghost inside the animatronics. But I think that's still cool. Like, and I understood the reference when I watched the movie, and I thought it was like a nice ending. But but then I want to get to like kind of like a critique here. I think like the way Vanessa just kind of shows up, I was kind of confused at Vanessa's
Yeah.
part. Yeah, like cause like, and it's not till the end that she just kind of like dumps everything on him at once, bro. Like Vanessa, like yeah, okay, yeah, you're a cop, like okay, but like why are you here? Type shit. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I didn't really get it, and I was just
Yeah.
kind of going along for the ride.
Yeah.
I just yeah.
I agree. I think that her character was handled like really poorly.
Mhm,
I think that they could have done like, it's fun. You wanna know what's funny is I don't know if this would have been accurate or inaccurate to like lore and stuff.
mhm,
Um, I'm kind of blanking on this one because I don't really remember her character that well. Um, but like she mentioned like previous like security guards and stuff like that in the film. It was like, oh, you should get to meet them and stuff. Which like I mean I know what she meant. Like I get it. Like but it would have been kind of like I think it would have kind of maybe made more sense if like if there was a character who was a previous security guard and was like had a really weird, vague explanatory power throughout the whole movie because isn't like in the FNAF games, like there is like just like this random guy who just like, yeah, hey there, pal, happy
The
first
phone guy?
day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
like
phone guy, dude.
there's a bro like that. Like I mean, I know that it wouldn't have exactly made sense if fucking Afton's daughter was the phone guy, but like they could have made like a weird like little hybrid character.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
movie wise that would have made more sense. People might have hated
Yeah.
it, but movie wise that probably would have made a little more
But
sense.
the fact that she just shows up out of nowhere, bro, and is like, yeah, like let me just like low key like just kind of poke you with a stick and like give some tidbits of crucial information that you literally need to know. Like literally day one, she doesn't tell that they're trying to kill him, bro. Like what? Like day one, she pulls up and is like, yeah, just you'll figure it out. I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that like she was trying to like do it in her own cryptic way, but like, bro, like that doesn't help.
I also think that they could have like her entrance would have made a lot more sense if she would have just waited, like if she would have just showed up to like to Freddy's Pizzeria like after, during, or because of the break-in. Like I mean, would we have really lost that much of her character? Like it was the next scene. Like it would have made much more sense for a cop to just show up then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Something else I wanted to mention. Fuck, I forgot. Bear with me. I'll remember it. Um, fuck. Yeah. So, oh yeah. I did want to mention. So basically, it's revealed at the end that oh yeah, Vanessa is Afton's daughter, and which also doesn't fucking align with the actual games because Afton's daughter is Circus Baby from FNAF's sister location, bro. That was literally the first thing I said, and Taylor and her sister were like, "Gunnar, shut the fuck up," because they're like, bro, like we're just trying to watch the movie. I thought that was kind of funny, but am I remembering that correctly, Alex? Isn't Afton's daughter Circus
Yeah,
Baby?
yeah. She's not the
Yeah.
fucking daughter of
Mhm.
him.
Mhm. Anyway, and I understand that they can't fucking make all of these things a reality inside the movie, but I just think it's like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just something I noticed. Um, and wasn't it mentioned that Garrett the Mike's brother that was abducted, I think by William Afton, was the first victim. Am I correct? Wasn't that in the movie too? Wasn't he the first victim?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, what
But
was it you said?
so basically the vision we see of Mike's little brother getting taken away in the car, isn't that William Afton taking the first victim and Garrett is the first victim?
I think so.
So I think so too. I might have missed that or miss like
I think
taking
he
in that
either was the
information.
first victim or they never actually explained who the first victim was.
Yeah, but like if he was the first victim, that is also not correct with the lore because the first victim was the puppet, and the puppet gave life to the 5 missing children. We know that from the FNAF 2 death mini game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's just little things, but I get how they had to make it like this for the movie. You know what I'm saying? They fit it in like a 1 hour 50-minute cut. Like I get it. Um, but this is why like if you're interested, if you're not a FNAF fan and you're interested in like learning the full lore, then this is like an okay place to start. But like Alex said, there's this just differences, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I overall think I like how they did it overall, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Like you feel like it turned out good enough as like it got
Yeah,
executed
yeah.
good for the most part. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if they make a sequel and they add some more lore tidbits for like the 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 fan like the super fans, I guess that'd be crazy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think they already said that there's gonna be a second movie that's in the works.
That's fire. Hopefully, Markiplier can be in it because wasn't he supposed to be in the cold open or the intro before the actual credit scene or the opening credit scene? He was supposed to be that guard, the one that got his face cut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was imagine this Markiplier being
Did imagine? Yeah, and he's doing his
Oh my
fucking
God.
scream that he did in the games. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, also, one more thing before I toss it to you, Alex. When Mike was first when Mike was first able to fucking apply for the job, and he was talking to Matthew Lillard about the opening at five Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, bro. I'm like actually I'm fucking talking like a dumbass. My fault. But he totally missed the opportunity to say yeah, the animatronics, they do get a little quirky at night. I was like
Dude.
fully expecting him to say that, but he never did. Because
Yeah.
that's exactly what Phone Guy said in FNAF 1, bro. They do get a little quirky at night.
Do get a
Jeez.
little quirky at night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't blame her
Yeah, I'm
for
tossing
singing
it to
the same
Alex.
song every 20 years.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with the strong suits of the movie for me at least. First off, the things that we already talked about, the fucking cast. I think I forget his name. Is it Josh Hutcherson? You said.
I think so.
I think he does a banger job. I like it as Mike Schmidt because I think I don't remember if this is exactly right or not, but I feel like in the games Mike Schmidt is just an alias that his son uses, if I'm
Yeah.
correct, and it's not actually a different character.
Who's the son's name? It's
What is it? It's something Afton. I don't remember.
I know it's the brother.
Is it
bro.
Henry Afton? No, wait, no, that's
I
the other
think
guy.
so. No, Henry was the other guy, bro. Wait, let me peep this, bro.
What? Anyway, so I think the one thing that I do like is kind of like you guys said. I think it's kind of cool how they turned a character that wasn't actually
Michael Afton. Sorry.
Michael Afton. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess it wasn't too far off. His name's still Mike. I like how they kind of turned him into his own character instead of just like being the son of William Afton. Like at first, I was a little bit hesitant because I'm like, I don't know, this is already starting to stray away. But I like the whole plot line they came up with the whole, he's trying to take care of his sister. Fuck the stupid aunt. Like not he's not trying to do it. I'm saying like she's a dumbass character. Anyway.
Oh, I forgot one thing about my critique. Sorry, Alex. I really wish we reveled in her death a little more. That was the one thing I would. Her death was too. It was too off screen. It was too nonchalant. We should have reveled in it a little bit.
Real. But yeah, so I like that. I like what they do with his character. How he goes and he tackles the guy because he thinks he's kidnapping someone when it was just his son. I know I'm kind of repeating some things here. I'm just saying the main things that were huge highlights for me. So I like that. I like that when also the fucking I was gonna say purple guy, but William Afton kills the job. He does fucking amazing. I've known fucking Matthew Lillard not just from Scooby Doo, but he plays Stu Macher in Scream. And so he has already kind of played like a killer before. And he does a really good job at that too. Like that's one of my main movies I remember him from, aside from Scooby Doo, of course. But he does a banger job as William Afton. I feel like he does a lot better of like a job of being intimidating in this movie than he does in Scream. So that's another thing that I will give him, because in Scream he's just kind of goofy. But so there's that. The animatronics, they're fucking amazing. I really like how all of them are kind of set up with like how in the movie when the people break in, they go their usual routes. Like Bonnie's over on like the left side, he's going through the fucking hallways over there. He was in the supply closet when he kills the one guy. And then Chica, she's over on the other side. She kills a guy in the kitchen where she usually goes, and she's usually really loud in there. So that's another thing that kind of was
That's so true, dude. Yeah, on the cams, bro.
And then I'm trying to think of other ones. The one thing that kind of broke it is that they were on the same side for one of the things, but I don't think it's the deepest thing in the world. And then Foxy, he does his thing where he runs down the hallway, and I think he's the only one that actually makes the original Scream sound, if I'm correct. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so there's them, and then Freddy. I could be wrong, but I don't think Freddy does anything. Like, I don't think he doesn't fucking teleport across the damn map. He I don't know. Freddy's the one that they don't do anything with as much, but
Mhm.
I still think he does. He has like a good presence. Um, this is a compliment and a critique, which I mean it shouldn't technically be a critique, but I'm gonna be kind of salty about it. The song that they chose, "Talking in Your Sleep," banger song. I fucking love that song, and it fits the vibe pretty well, and it makes sense for the whole thing of the movie where Mike is just going and he's falling asleep and he's like getting the dreams and he's talking and I don't know. Like I feel like it fits. Um but my complaint with it is now all the fucking cringe ass FNAF fans are gonna ruin the song like they did like Stranger Things did with fucking Master of Puppets, so
It's over.
it's over on that one,
It's over, chat.
but I will say that was good. Obviously, like how the animatronics are like made for the movie, like how they're legit, like actual animatronics, is really fucking cool to me. Like a good amount of the movie, I don't think actually even uses CGI. Like most of it is practical, which is very cool because
I think that's
I always
crazy.
think practical effects are fucking awesome. The set, fucking amazing. At least for just like the pizzeria. Like I think that's awesome. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really want to say that's like positive. I don't know. That's mainly it, and like that's all the good things at least that I have to point out. And I have just so many fucking critiques of this movie, dude. Because I'm just gonna
It's
say right
over, dude.
now, this movie is by no means fucking perfect, dude. So critique number one, dude. I want to talk about the stupid ass murder plot of them just being like, oh yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna just go and fucking destroy the pizzeria and kill him in there. Like, if they really just want to get him fired, all they had to do was just fucking like destroy the pizzeria and then just leave. Like, why did they have to try and attempt to kill him? Like, there was no point to that. Like, I mean, yeah, then they could have gotten the custody, I guess, of like her sooner, but I mean, I feel like that would have been enough as is. I don't really get why the babysitter's on the fucking payroll of the aunt. That doesn't really make sense to me either, because I thought that she was just friends with him in general, so that's another stupid ass plot point that they have. Um, dude, there's just so many things. Oh, okay. One of the things that I guess is like it's a critique, but it also makes sense somewhat lore wise. I really don't like the scene where fucking Vanessa and Mike and Abby and then all the animatronics are hanging out and having like a fucking like play date. Like no. No.
Bruh, I know I was kind of taken off by
Like
that, but I was kind of fucking with
like
it.
like it
low-key.
makes sense because like yeah, they're fucking kids inside the robots and like it's the mindset of kids. And they're not being aggressive to like they're not being aggressive in that point in time because there's a kid around. So they're not gonna try and like kill in front of another kid. So that's another thing that like I just really don't like is a lot of the movie just of the animatronics, like I feel like they just really do their actual roles in the games just kind of dirty. Like I don't really like how a lot of the movie is just them like in one sense I get it because Mike really wants to try and find his brother. I just feel like that they do the flashback scenes or like the dream scenes just way too often and they just miss the whole focus of like the animatronics being fucking aggressive and killing machines. Like, and most of the things, like we already said, you don't even see the fucking actual, like, shit that they do. They do it off screen. I think off screen kills are so fucking lame. And the only actual, like, one that you see pretty much attacking people is the fucking cupcake. Which, that's another complaint I have. They put the soul of one of the kids into the fucking cupcake, and they just completely cut out Golden Freddy.
Gold
Like,
facts. That's what I was gonna say, dude.
yeah, like, dude,
So
Golden Freddy is one of the most like essential fucking things. It's the one that does the fucking like, it's the one that goes and gives you that fucking game crash with the fucking jump scare, which also
Golden Freddy.
like,
am I insane, or was that not the one that picked up Abby?
was it? I don't
Am I
know.
crazy? That wasn't the
Picked
regular
up Abby
Freddy.
when?
at the end of the movie because it was missing an eye, and the regular Freddy wasn't missing an eye.
You know what? Maybe you are right.
I think that was a nod to Golden
Wait,
Freddy. I'm like
wait,
90% sure.
That might have been a nod to Golden Freddy. I don't know. It just didn't look. It didn't, to me at least. I'm partly colorblind, so I don't know if I'm able to have this take, but like, it didn't look golden to me.
Wait,
Like,
Golden
it just looked
Freddy
like a
made
normal
it.
Freddy.
Oh, apparently Golden Freddy was the one that pulled up to the crib. I couldn't
What?
tell. The lighting was fucking trash in that.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? They could have made him a little more golden, bro. Like, fuck.
Yeah, that glimmer effect or something. Damn, bro, I'm a more real FNAF fan than you
Damn.
two. Get out of here.
Well, see, my girlfriend said the same thing, but I was like, I just thought it was one of those scrap suits, because like when
Yeah,
when fucking
same.
Mike is in that one room, there's all those fucking scrap suits. I thought it was just one of those.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I did think to myself, I'm like, this thing's kind of yellowish. I'm like, wouldn't that be a little silly if it was a Super Saiyan Freddy, which is what I call it, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, bro got the blue eye, dude. He's
Dude, literally, it's Super Saiyan Freddy, man. Come on.
But yeah, I
But
don't know. I feel like there should have been more of a focus on Golden Freddy, because I feel like he's one of the more. I'm pretty sure he's one of the more important roles in FNAF lore. Like, I could be wrong. It's been a while, but like, I don't know. I feel like there should be a lot more emphasis on him.
I mean, maybe not emphasis, but to be fair, he did probably perform the most important action in the entire film.
He kind of did. But
Of,
like,
of the animatronics, he probably did the most significant thing of all of them.
yeah. But yeah, so like that the animatronics, while they're obviously like the best, like, you know, they're one of the best selling points of the fucking movie. Like, I think their actions are just kind of the thing that really just brings them down for me. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of that fucking scene where they're hanging out. I think the jump scares, there wasn't enough of like actual like FNAF jump scares. There was the Foxy one, and that's about it. And then, like, you know, you have the Balloon Boy ones, but like, that's not even a fucking animatronic. It's a fucking toy. Like, that, like, for me, like, while I do kind of appreciate them at least bringing Balloon Boy into the movie, I feel like the jump scares that were used on him were just kind of wasted, instead of like, you know, giving them to the actual animatronics that are the fucking stars of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know. There's just a lot of my complaints just mainly have to do with like how they use the animatronics in the movie. Another thing is just I don't know how I feel about the whole like I get it, she had to get to the fucking like place some way or another, but like, why did they call a taxi? Like, how did Golden Freddy get there to begin with? Did he take the fucking taxi too? Like why did they?
Bro, Corey X Kenshin pulled up.
Like,
Dude.
Nick,
They
and
got
this,
his ass.
yeah, no. Like, I'm not saying like, yeah, they shouldn't have gave Corey X Kenshin. Like, honestly, yeah, obviously he had to have a fucking cameo, but I don't know. Plot wise, it doesn't make as much sense. And another thing that really just didn't make sense to me, and we already kind of talked about her, fucking what's her name? The cop girl, Vanessa, right? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, why the fuck does she go? And she goes to fucking Mike and says, "Yeah, bring your daughter back, and I'm just gonna fucking shoot you in the head," or something like that. Like,
Yeah, bro, she won't play him, bro.
like, dude, no, like, you're a fucking cop. You're not gonna fucking shoot him in the head. Like, why would you do that? He's fucking doing his job. He's working there. That's not gonna look good on your fucking record. I have seen a lot of people trying to justify her actions of not being as discreet to him because apparently she's like a trauma victim of him or something, and she was afraid to speak up. But like,
I get it. I get that part.
like, I kind of get it, and I mean, I get it for the plot, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of shitty writing, to be honest. Like, I feel like she should have been a bit more discreet. I don't know. My big thing about this movie is kind of like we already said. They really just babyized, or like, I don't know what the right word is, but like, they really just toned it down for these fucking new gen fans of the, you know, of the series, because
New gen, bro, drop new gen. That's funny.
like, dude, all these fucking new gen fans are just kind of used to like the fucking, oh yeah, guys, Party Freddy Fazbear, fucking Freddy fucking 4th of July, Christmas Freddy Fazbear, like dude, all the fucking merchandising and all this shit has just, in my opinion, really just made the movies and game, or not the movie, but the games and like everything of the franchise in general just not as scary. When like legit, when you were playing through the first game, at least I remember as a kid, that shit gave me fucking nightmares. Not only
Yeah, I
just
was
not only
shitting
just from
bricks.
not only just from like the animatronic jump scares, but like the fucking lore when it wasn't really like as known. Like the fucking purple guys shit. Like they don't
Mhm.
they needed to elaborate on it more or like show more stuff with that in my opinion. Like that's some of the best shit in the movie. And they just literally leave it for like the last like 10-20 minutes of the movie. I think that's a really dumb thing that they did. Like they kind of build him up a little bit, but like they build him up in like the last 30 minutes. They're like, "Oh, there was this guy that goes and he's the one that killed the kids and he killed the kids here and he killed your brother." And it's just like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Like we're doing this way too fucking fast." Like, what?
Mhm.
I don't know. Just here's my overall thoughts, right? I think that for fans, a lot of fans are going to really enjoy this movie. It's going to get them probably even more hyped for like the next one. It's going to get more people maybe into the franchise. But as a movie overall, as like a video game movie, I would probably say it's on the weaker side. While there are a lot of good things that it does do, like the animatronics, it does them justice and like actual, real life versions of them. I think they did like the copies of them really good. But I feel like their actions are just not like anything in the game and it just really just strays really fucking far from the games. And I understand that they have to try and incorporate so much lore into like one movie, but for me, I feel like they could have done a lot better to embrace the horror aspects of the games instead of just the storyline. That would be my big complaint.
Yeah. No, I'm actually not to be this movie's like, defender or anything like that, because again, I think it's just a very like average movie that I think is worth watching, but like that I don't I'm not going to be thinking about this movie in 10 years thinking back like damn, I want to rewatch, the FNAF movie for the 30th time. But this was kind of the issue. This was not a movie where you could really have your cake and eat it too, because if you want the main character would have had to have suffered if they wanted to make the animatronics evil. And the reason why I say that is because if the animatronics were like blatantly evil, constantly jump scaring and killing and stuff like that, it would kind of take away from the tragedy that they're kids, which
Mhm.
is truthfully maybe more important to the lore than them being scary. Like at least in maybe that's I don't know.
See,
Because
I
like
get what you're saying.
here's what I would say, right? The way they could have improved it is like literally half the nights like that he's there, they don't really do much. Like yeah, they're there, they're fucking performing on the stage when the fucking lights and shit are turned on. And then he falls asleep, he gets attacked in his sleep. He gets fucking slashed up and shit. And for me, I think that would have been a better opportunity to use him as like the night guard, like panicking and shit. And like over time, slowly realizing, like, if he gets the dream every now and then in the movie, which maybe it's just because the movie didn't have enough time to do this, like, I feel like it would have been better to slowly build up to like, oh shit, the fucking kids are inside the animatronics. And like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like
How
they're
that's somehow revealed.
like, yeah, like I wish that they could have had it more built up so like they start off really fucking intimidating and like fucking scary and they're fucking killing people, which I mean, yeah, they did do that at some point. But like for him, he just goes in, they fucking attack him like what, once or twice in his sleep. And then once he brings his sister, that's when it happens, which honestly, I feel like there should have been more build up like before he brought his sister to them being more intense, and then maybe he brings it on like he brings his sister on like the fourth or fifth night, and then that's fine. But like I don't know, there's just not enough time for them to be like scary or like which like I said, which I understand Liam, like you said, yeah, they're fucking kids, but like the kids are supposed to be scared of the adults. Like, there should be more time for them to, be trying to attack him and like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what's crazy? Is I kind of thought I was thinking about it. I was like, is there ever a point in time in this movie where I feel like where they could have cut out a portion of the film to get this like because I think the movie would have been too long if we would have gotten like all that amount of buildup.
Yeah.
Dude, literally, when he initially declines the job, there's like 15 to 20 minutes of setup for him to be like, oh yeah, I guess I do need to take care of my sister. Like, why the fuck? I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, why the fuck was that even like? It was like, oh, the aunt's suing you now. I'm like, did we need 15 minutes to explain that? Like,
see, that's another thing too. Like, if anything, honestly, if they would have cut the whole Ant storyline, I feel like that could have been more time used to actually build up towards like that whole thing. Or like, what if even like the fucking people, instead of them just being there to kill him because I don't know, the fucking ants set them up. Like, what if they just were legit like just people that were breaking into a building investigating?
wait, because they mentioned that drunks and like drug dealers showed up there and stuff like that. Like imagine, hang on, like genuinely speaking, imagine a scene where bro is snoozing and you watch an entire like animatronic like basic like you watch an animatronic like slaughter fest happen through the monitors on like drunk and stuff like that.
Yeah, like dude, I feel like they could have just cut the whole fucking ant plot line the whole time. Like, leave it to something that's just like not even really shown on screen. Like, if they want to mention it, sure, they can just do that. Like, they can fucking like mention it slightly. Like, but I don't feel like that time was used right. Like, they could have just used that to, like you said, just have people that are just like going in, they're like urban what do you call them? Like the people that go into like abandoned buildings and shit.
Yeah, the urban investigators.
Yeah, like have those kinds of people, or just like drunks or like drug dealers or whatever. Have them go into the building like as he's doing it, and he wakes up like from the fucking thing. He sees them on the monitor, and he's like, "All right, let me go check on that. Let me get this guy out of here." And before that, he sees the animatronics go, and they fuck him up. Like, they fuck up the person coming in. Like, I feel like that would have been just so much better of a plot line than the stupid-ass bank robbers and, like... Or not bank robbers, sorry. The people that were trying to kill him and get him fired. Like, I don't know. I just think there was just so many better ways to do that.
Yeah, the end storyline was definitely, like, again, like, one of the more, in my opinion, weaker ones. Like, especially, like, since at the end of the day, like, the payoff, like, her death was, like, nothing. It was such a not-death. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like I get it because, like, those kinds of characters, like, it's easy writing because it's really easy to invent a character that everyone hates. And then on top of that, everyone loves seeing a character that they hate get fucked over. But we didn't even get to see them get fucked over, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's just...
I would be so down to watch the ant just get literally eviscerated, bro. But like,
Golden Freddy boxing montage.
That's
just watch
just
him
me,
throw
bro.
hands.
Dude, or even have her pull up to Freddy Fazbear's and like let all of them fucking tag team her. Like, dude, imagine she goes there and she just goes and she's like, Michael, I'm taking her. She's coming with me. And then all the fucking animatronics, they see her, they're like, oh, this is an evil adult. Let's fucking kill her. That would have been even better. Like,
yeah, but actually though, because he's taking the child, bro, what happened to them?
Exactly,
bro.
Like, that was a missed opportunity.
Dude. Misfire.
Also
6.5, 6.5. Sorry guys, 6.5.
And let me say one more other thing about the ending too. I think while it is cool that like after they do like the drawing, like then they realize, oh shit, the guy in the fucking Springlock suit is the bad guy. Like, why did they need to converse that over drawings? That's the one thing that kind of confuses me. And I'm kind of confused why they even obeyed him to begin with. I don't know if it's because he would wear the Springlock suit, and that's why.
That is not even in the games at all. Like, literally at all. That like the dead children obeying their captor is not in the games whatsoever.
That's in my opinion, that was kind of poopy writing, to be honest. But like, I kind of like how it was because they use like a drawing for it, and like the drawings are always like a thing that was like another FNAF thing where like, oh yeah, you've got all these drawings that are hung up on the walls and shit. But like, I don't know, why is that the way that they solve it? I just think that was kind of goofy, if anything. But
Yeah.
I mean, overall, if
Like I said, I think this is all appealing for fucking the mainstream audience, bro.
like, okay, so we heard Liam's ranking of a 6.5. What would you give it? What are you giving it, Gunnar?
Fucking probably the same, maybe a 7.
I
don't know, just
I
because
would give it a
it's part of
5.
a 5, dude. I just think because it's also like
Wait a minute.
nostalgia.
5?
Okay, dude.
Yeah, no joke. No like no haha funnies. Like I would legit just give it a 5. That's what I put it on fucking Letterbox. I put it as like a 2.5 stars because I just feel like there was so much stuff they could have done better. And while I did appreciate all the stuff that like the two like highlight actors did, like while I think they really kill their roles, other characters just kind of don't carry their weight as well. The aunt, Vanessa, the fucking babysitter, like all of them, like, and I don't think
Bro,
that's
she
a
got
bad,
chopped in half.
like, I don't think that's really, their faults as actors. I think it's more so the writer's fault for kind of fumbling their roles. Like, that just, I don't know, those were the fucking things that I would just mainly say. Another thing is just, like, kind of like you said, Gunnar, I don't know what they were doing with Vanessa's character. I really don't know. I don't know much about her,
I
but
was so confused.
according to Sydney, she was just like a FNAF like huge fan. Like she was an over obsessed fan of like the franchise or something. And so she tried to make her own animatronic to include it. I don't know much about her. I didn't play the Security Breach game, but I don't know.
Oh, this was in Security Breach?
I think Vanessa's in Security
Oh,
Breach.
'cause I'm not familiar.
I don't know much about her character because I didn't play that, but yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. But
Dude.
honestly, I think they did an alright job. I think there could have been a lot of improvements, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm just glad the FNAF movie exists.
Me too. Finally, bro. Like after nearly a decade.
Nearly a decade, dude.
You want to know what
the
I think?
game being out.
What I think could be a cool, like a very cool thing for them to do, like in the coming future. Like I'm sure, like these like movies are going to have like these live action films are always going to have like their place, and they're probably going to continue to make more. But I'm not gonna lie, I almost wouldn't mind and think it would be preferred if, oh excuse me, if because I know that the books kind of went this route. I think it'd be really cool to like give some like, because for those of you who don't know, across like Into and Across the Spider-Verse is like I don't want to say a fan project, but like that's not a Marvel writer, and Across the Spider-Verse is not based off of anything that like actually happened in like Spider-Man comics, like ever. It's completely original, and this isn't me saying let's animate and make FNAF fanfic canon. No, like I would like to see really talented writers in an animated setting go fucking berserk with the concept, with these characters. I think that like short films, like hour 15 movies that are generally just here to fucking scare the shit out of you would go insane.
Oh, you know what? One last thing. I'm actually gonna bump my rating up to 5.5 because one last thing I want to say is like I will give the movie a lot of credit for being very community based focused, if that makes sense, where they got a lot of involvement from people that really are huge fans of the series and love the series, like Matt Pat, Corey Kenshin, all the YouTubers that were in that one like employee of the month thing. But the last thing that really takes the cake that I didn't hear any of us mention, the Living Tombstone song in the credits, that's what's giving it a 5.5.
Oh my god, dude! Actually, community movie, bro.
Because hearing that in the credits was like, okay, that's really fucking cool. They got like a YouTuber like, I don't want to say parody song because that's not really what it is, but like a fan song in the actual movie is just really cool to me. So I will give them that for being very, very like using a lot of references to like stuff from the fan base. But that aside, like I said, I don't think it's the worst movie I've ever seen. I honestly feel like Willy's Wonderland I had more fun watching over this, which is crazy because that was based off FNAF. But yeah,
Damn.
I mean, like I said, I feel like it does most of its job right. I just think the animatronics just could have been a little bit better in their roles. But I don't know. Any final thoughts from you guys? Because I know we got to wrap it up here.
I think I got to say everything I wanted to.
Same.
All right, guys. We're gonna
I
end
know
the
what I'm
episode
doing now.
here.
I'm reinstalling FNAF.
Okay, dude.
I'm about to play this shit again.
But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe, any of that stuff to all of our stuff. Like I said, it's gonna be linked down below. Next week, honestly, I feel like we've got to talk about it on the podcast. Fortnite OG. I really want to talk about that on an episode because, dude, I think we can all agree it's really fucking fun still. It's as fun as we remember it being. I don't want to get into it because, we got to save it for next week, but
Real.
But that's what you guys can expect next week. With that being said, thank you guys again, and keep it virtual. Peace.
Peace.